Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yo, what's good, original crew, man? We're back with another Watch Mojo. Kind of throwback, a little older Watch Mojo. Today we got 20 most notorious and infamous crimes of the 90s. Now, we all know the 90s was a great decade for music, entertainment as far as sports, movies, and crime shows, even TV shows. Television, you got to think about it. TV was great in the 90s. Like everything was great.
Crime show. You said crime shows.
Yeah, because we talking about crime. Like you got cops.
Yeah, show. Oh, okay,
you got cops. You got America's Most Wanted.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Yeah, like you got.
I used to watch. What was the one that used to come on? Kind of the unsolved cases. What was it called?
Can't remember.
Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You know we had
Unsolved Mysteries.
It's
Unsolved Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I used to love watching that.
That's a lot of things came out. Like 90s was a great decade, man. But even though it was a great decade, it was also a horrific decade. You got to think about some of the most notorious and infamous crimes. You got OJ. Mm-hmm. You got what I just watched. The little girl. John B.
Is it JonBenét?
JonBenét Ramsey.
Yeah.
You got Rodney King beaten. You got a lot of gang things happening in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a lot of things did happen in the 90s that was also tragic as well. So, with that being said, make sure y'all check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first support. You got to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals.
Like it with a thumbs up.
Also, hey, kids TV shows, the greatest time during the 90s. Mm-hmm. I don't know what they got now. Bunch of trash. Let's go. Let's check it out. Let's see what's about. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's get it.
It was the high society murder that stunned the world.
Gianni Versace was murdered in broad daylight this morning.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at 20 of the most notorious and infamous crimes of the 90s.
And the lead story is the FBI is investigating Tanya Harding's husband in the attack on Nancy Kerrigan.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God.
For this list, we're looking at the most publicized and high-profile crimes from 1990 to 1999. What infamous crimes do you most remember from the 90s? Tell us in the comments. Kidnapping of Jaycee Lee Dugard. In the summer of 1991, the young Jaycee Lee Dugard disappeared in Myers, California on her way to the school bus stop.
She reaches the road. A gray car pulls up. A stranger rolls down the window.
And his hand shoots out, and I just feel numb.
Witnesses, including Dugard's stepfather Carl Probin, saw a man and woman force her into a gray vehicle, and the perpetrators were later identified as Philip Garrido and his wife Nancy. Wow. For 18 years, Dugard was held in a shack behind their home in Antioch, where she gave birth to 2 girls. The story was featured on America's Most Wanted within days of the abduction. Dugard and her daughters were finally found in 2009 after Philip was ordered to attend a parole meeting.
It wasn't until 2 suspicious campus police officers uncovered the truth that Jaycee was reunited with her mother after 18 torturous years.
That is so devastating.
They also, I don't know who did it, but they got a movie about it. It might be a Lifetime.
Yeah.
I think it might be Lifetime, but there is you can't watch like because I was finna say no, I think it's a movie.
It's a movie. I think
it's a reenactment of it. Yeah.
They're like, you can see your mom, and I'm like, I can see my mom.
In 2011, he received a 431-year to life prison sentence, while Nancy was sentenced to 36 to life. The murder of Phil Hartman. Actor-comedian Phil Hartman was a cast member of Saturday Night Live from 1986 to 1994, earning an Emmy in 1989 for writing.
Fine, but please, don't tell Mrs. Clinton. Jim, let me tell you something. There's going to be a whole bunch of things we don't tell Mrs. Clinton. Fast food is the least of our worries, okay, buddy?
Hartman married his third wife, Bryn Omdahl, in 1987, and the couple had 2 children together. Amdal struggled with multiple substance use disorders for years, which put a strain on their marriage. She also reportedly had anger issues, leading to many fights between the couple, including one on the night of May 27, 1998. In the early hours of May 28th.
Oh, shit. I do know him. Is he the father in... It's a movie. Sinbad movie. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, he did play in Jenga all the way. He was the next door neighbor who had the son. Mm-hmm. You probably don't remember. He is the guy from House Guest. I never knew his name. He's a great actor. House Guest. He played. You remember House Guest with Sinbad? Mm-hmm. He's this guy.
I know.
The friend.
Yeah.
The friend he supposed to have met, but he was like, he hadn't seen him. And then in Jingle All the Way, he played, you remember, it was Arnold Schwarzenegger. Mm-hmm. You know his wife? Mm-hmm. It was his wife, but it was the next door neighbor, because he was like, he got his son, the man dog. I used to have one as a kid. Yeah. I can't remember the toy. But yeah, wow. I did not. Wow. I didn't know his name though. But he was a great actor for those movies that I don't know him in.
She shot Hartman multiple times in his sleep, then confessed to two friends before taking her own life.
Distraught neighbors and friends of the couple say they had marital problems. One woman said she had feared that this would happen.
Hartman's murder shocked the entertainment industry at large. Family, friends, and fans continue paying tribute to the comedian. John and Lorena Bobbitt. Less than a week after their 4-year anniversary, John and Lorena Bobbitt made headlines for a shocking reason. According to Lorena, her husband assaulted her the night of June 23, 1993 in their Manassas, Virginia home. When he was asleep, she took a knife from the kitchen and removed his manhood, so to speak.
She went into the kitchen to get a glass of water. She saw the knife.
It was so many things coming into my mind. I don't know how to describe.
Lorena alleged that John was emotionally and physically abusive. She was found not guilty due to insanity and irresistible impulse. In years since, John has been arrested and charged for several alleged instances of battery involving wives and girlfriends. He and Lorena continue to talk to the media about the incident.
How quickly did you know that what happened that night was going to be a very big story?
No, I knew it was big because they were trying to, keep the reporters from coming out.
I'll be to be disrespectful, but he is.
Were they able to reattach?
That's why I was wondering about. I was like, the way he's sitting in that chair look like he ain't got it no more. God be having because you got your genitals down there, so it'd be like sometimes discomfort depending on.
Well, not. I done seen some.
I'm saying how big.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's move on. Let's go.
But what I'm saying is, he's sitting there too close, legs too tight, just your balls are hitting each other.
Okay, babe. Yeah.
I do wonder that. Have you ever heard of this?
I feel like I've heard something. I just don't know if it's this
growing up, people used to always be like, "Don't make me Lorena Bobbitt, Joe."
I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah.
And then I used to hear so many random stories that she threw it out the window. I heard she cut it, put it in a bag, like kept it on ice.
Okay. Then maybe this is what I heard, because I was like, I remember someone like put it in something or kept it, or a jar, a bag, something like, I don't know.
But I need somebody who's like probably older than us. We're 90s, baby. We were just born in 90s. So, but we heard some things. I just need the details of he able to get it back.
Cause like
that's your manhood.
Did she flush it? Did
she throw it out the window?
Or did she throw it away?
Cause throwing it out the window on rocks and shit.
I mean, they can clean it, sanitize it.
Remember, the infamous cut your balls off and hand it to your partner.
Yep, the hospital.
The shooting of Mary Jo Buttafuoco. In 1991, 35-year-old auto body shop owner Joey Buttafuoco allegedly began an affair with teenager Amy Fisher. When she approached his wife Mary Jo on May 19, 1992, a heated confrontation led to Fisher shooting her in the face and fleeing the scene.
She is accused of an affair with a married man more than twice her age. She is in jail on charges of trying to kill his wife. But who is Amy Fisher?
Mary Jo survived and was able to help officials identify the young woman who shot her. Fisher, whom the press dubbed the Long Island Lolita, was arrested and charged. Meanwhile, Mary Jo suffered partial face paralysis and lost hearing in one ear. In December 1992, Fisher was sentenced to 5 to 15 years, serving 7 before being paroled in 1999.
It's not.
You gotta be kidding me.
For almost taking me out.
You know what she got? Assault with a deadly weapon.
That's it.
That's attempted murder, bro.
Man,
that's a face shot.
Shot this woman in her face.
That's attempted murder. Get her 25.
That's crazy.
She gotta. That's what paying for.
I wonder where she at now. What's she doing?
But I have heard her name before.
I've
Amy Fisher.
never heard her name.
You never heard of Amy Fisher? Wow. Okay. No, I'm saying like some of these names I don't know the case, but I heard the name.
Yeah.
Not about me anymore. It's not about the person who got shot and assassinated on the front of her own home. It becomes about Joey and Amy.
And it did. It took on a life of its own because that's what the public was seeing. That's what they wanted.
The West Memphis Three. In May of 1993, 3 young boys from West Memphis, Arkansas were found murdered in Robin Hood Hills. Yeah. Due to the shocking nature, officials speculated there was evidence of an occult ritual. 18-year-old Damian Eccles, known for his interest in Wicca, was later arrested along with his friend Jason Baldwin and acquaintance Jesse Miskelly Jr. Despite a lack of evidence, Baldwin and Miskelly got life sentences, while Eccles was sentenced to death.
They argue that the boys' predilections, along with the strange and brutal nature of the crime scene, are proof that the murders were committed as a satanic.
Remember us looking into this?
Not
we
this
heard about.
one.
Yes, it was a while ago though. We didn't watch. We haven't watched anything on it.
Oh.
We had looked into this one. I want to say when we was in our apartments, we heard about it. We was like, "What? We never heard about it." We had looked into it, watched something.
I thought it was a different one.
No, it was this one.
Oh.
It was this one.
Ritual.
Joe Berlinger and Bruce Sinofsky directed 3 HBO documentaries beginning with trial coverage. The case gained attention when Metallica allowed their music to be used in the first film, and high-profile celebrities like Johnny Depp publicly supported the boys' innocence. In 2011, the West Memphis Three were released after agreeing to an Alford plea.
Today, the West Memphis Three walked free.
It's been an absolute living hell.
The attack on Nancy Kerrigan. On January 6, 1994, figure skater Nancy Kerrigan was practicing for the United States Figure Skating Championships in Detroit, Michigan, when she was suddenly struck in her right leg with a baton.
Kerrigan was clubbed on the right knee with a baton by an unidentified man.
You know about this.
The whack heard round the world, as it came to be known.
Rival skater Tanya Harding and her ex-husband Jeff Gillooly were suspected of orchestrating the attack to eliminate Harding's competition. The attacker was later identified as Shane Stant, an associate of Sean Eckert, who acted as Harding's bodyguard and Gillooly's friend. Stant and his getaway driver Derek Smith accepted plea deals and were both convicted of conspiracy, while Eckert and Gillooly pled guilty to racketeering.
Just 3 weeks after the attack, her ex-husband, Jeff Gillooly, pleads guilty, but accuses Tanya of being the mastermind.
Tanya categorically denies those allegations.
I haven't done anything wrong.
Harding was banned from the USFSA and didn't skate professionally again. In 2017, interest in the infamous attack was renewed with the release of the film I, Tonya. The murder of Matthew Shepard. In October of 1998, 21-year-old University of Wyoming student Matthew Shepard was robbed and brutally attacked by 2 men, Aaron McKinney and Russell Henderson, who left him for dead. Shepard succumbed to his severe head injuries 6 days later in the hospital.
The tragedy would become one of the most notorious anti-gay hate crimes in American history.
You need some preaching, my friend.
Matt's funeral and the murder trials, which led to multiple life sentences, dominated the media.
In December, Shepard's parents founded the Matthew Shepard Foundation. In 1999, Henderson received 2 life sentences after pleading guilty to murder and kidnapping charges and testifying against McKinney, who got the same sentences. While McKinney and Henderson maintained that they didn't target Shepard because he was gay, the case sparked discussions surrounding hate crimes against the LGBTQ+ community.
I just saw this very bright, intellectual, worldly young person. It's one of the mysteries that keeps you going. I can't ever really know what he might have been able to accomplish, but I have a pretty good idea of what we can accomplish in his name if we keep doing it. And so we do.
In October 2009, then President Barack Obama signed the Matthew Shepard and James Byrd Jr. Hate Crimes Prevention Act into law. The assassination of Gianni Versace. After Gianni Versace opened his first boutique in 1978, the Italian fashion designer quickly made a name for himself in the industry.
1978? That's not that long. Damn. Versace blew up fast. No, I'm like dead serious. Did she say boutique opened up in 1978?
I heard 1978.
Wow. And I'll just say this. It's all about what you put value onto your own. Because that keeps your stuff from being either in Walmart or in a high end. It's how you value your own product. Mm-hmm. Like what makes his product better than the next? It's just how he values his own product.
Yeah.
Damn.
Assassination of Gianni Versace. After Gianni Versace opened his first boutique in 1978, the Italian fashion designer quickly made a name for himself in the industry.
I have a beautiful house, I have a beautiful life, but that is the media. What I desire is more.
His life was cut short at 50 years old when Andrew Cunanan shot him in front of his Miami Beach home on July 15, 1997. 8 days later, Cunanan took his own life. The cross-country spree killer had previously killed 4 other men before Versace, including his friend Jeffrey Trail in Minneapolis. And
you never watched the story, did you?
No, what story?
So the same people who did the I forgot what network it came on, but the one about football player. What's his name? Just died. I can't think his name. OJ.
Is it the one we...
The OJ joint. FX.
Oh.
The same people who did...
OJ.
The same people who did the OJ joint did his. And his was on Netflix as well. I watched the majority of it. I ain't watched the whole thing. Because when he started doing the cross-country stuff after he killed him, I kind of tuned out.
Oh.
Like afterwards. But like it shows up to the point where he walks up to the door. Versace comes out. I think he was in his Versace role, and he.
What was the motive? Like what? Like
he was upset. I think I low key think he was obsessed with him.
Him and what about all the other men?
I think it was all to build up to this.
Yeah, okay. Well,
it's a series you can go back and watch though. They do have a Versace series though.
A well-known real estate developer, Lee Miglin in Chicago.
Andrew Cunanan makes the top 10 FBI list. You had people in all parts of the country wondering whether Andrew Cunanan was going to show up at their house.
Authorities admit that by now, Cunanan could be anywhere.
While his exact motivations are ultimately unknown, experts speculate Cunanan was jealous of Versace's fame and fortune. In 2018, the second season of American Crime Story revisited the crime and the aftermath. The death of James Bulger. One of the most shocking criminal cases in British history took place on February 12, 1993, when 2 of the country's youngest offenders took the life of the even younger James Bulger.
After all this time, 17 years, there's no doubt in your mind that it wasn't just a prank gone wrong, it was evil.
Yes, there's no doubt in my mind at all. It was complete evil intent.
The now widely viewed CCTV footage shows Robert Thompson and John Venables leading Bulger out of the New Strand shopping center. Days after the boys' unspeakable acts, Bulger's body was found in Walton, Liverpool. Professionals determined Thompson and Venables knew right from wrong despite their young ages. In November that year, they were found guilty of first-degree murder and kidnapping. In 2001, both were released from youth detention centers at the age of 18 and given new identities.
They got no punishment whatsoever. They got rewarded for murdering James. That's why I've never let it go and I won't let it go.
You think they were rewarded?
Of course it was a reward because they never spent no time in a prison.
Venables returned to prison on several occasions for possession of explicit material involving minors.
Oh!
The Rodney King beating.
Oh.
And that's because
we have heard about the case. We have did a video about the case, the whole situation that happened.
Do we know they was given new identities?
Yes.
Okay.
They were released, and we did know about giving new identities, and we was like, what? So,
but we didn't know.
So we was also like, they probably living. You probably don't, and then somebody did come in and said one of them has gotten in trouble afterwards, and the other one nobody knows who he is.
Who he is.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you could do some research and find out.
I mean, it'll just be the old name and.
But after 18, you won't even know who they are.
You won't even know.
It's crazy.
Unless you personally
While driving
know
home with friends on the morning of March 3rd, 1991, Rodney King was allegedly speeding on the highway and refused to stop for police, and a high-speed chase ensued. They were eventually pulled over by 5 officers from the Los Angeles Police Department. George Holliday, a nearby witness, filmed the officers tasing King, repeatedly striking him with batons and kicking him.
Rodney King struggled in many ways for the rest of his life.
He would have nightmares. I mean, you could hear him yelling in his sleep, kind of moaning, like he was literally having a nightmare.
According to officers, he resisted arrest, though King and witnesses denied this. The footage was sent to a local news station and ignited widespread criticism of the LAPD and law enforcement's excessive force. After the 4 officers avoided conviction in 1992, public outrage in the African American community led to the 6-day Los Angeles riots.
Well, my reaction is shock first and then disappointment. Obviously, we feel the evidence warranted a conviction on the defendants, and the jury disagreed with us, and we must abide by their decision.
The death of JonBenét Ramsey. On December 26, 1996, the young JonBenét Ramsey went missing from her home in Boulder, Colorado. Her parents, John and Patsy, allegedly found a ransom note demanding a suspiciously specific amount of money.
Let us know if y'all have watched the JonBenét Ramsey case. I still never finished it because it's a lot. And
what you only had
I had got halfway through episode 2, and I just was like, it's a lot, bro. Because your mind start going here and here and here and here and here and here and here. It's so much speculations. It's so much. You it could possibly be this person. Could have possibly been that. It could have possibly. It just, to me, from the looks of it, I don't believe it was a break-in. Now, I do believe somebody close to her did it, but you don't know exactly who. And
then me, even though I didn't watch it with you, you was telling me stuff, and then sometimes if you was watching it, I walk in or whatever. Yeah, but I just didn't like how it was handled, the entire case. It was just poorly handled. I was I felt like y'all really failed her.
Because don't forget, it's a possibility. There were 3 individuals in the house. Mm-hmm. Nobody looked into other 3 individuals in the home. Also, we never looked into other people that know the family. Yeah. So you don't know exactly who, but I just personally believe whoever did do something to her, she knew who it was. She knew the individual. It wasn't a stranger. Yeah. Personally, that's just me. I'm not gonna say exactly who, but and the other every detail I think. But, it's just, it's a sad situation, though.
Very. The note demands $118,000 and threatens the immediate execution of their daughter.
And that's the other part that was very weird, because the daughter's already deceased in the house. Why leave a ransom note for money when if the police came and searched the home? They could have discovered the body. Unfortunately, they didn't search the home and the father.
So what would be the point of a ransom note?
Yeah, if the daughter had already been deceased inside the home.
Yeah.
Just hours after she was reported missing, John found his daughter's lifeless body in the basement. Her death was ruled a homicide.
And lo and behold, when John Ramsey finds the body, you now have John Ramsey at the crime scene.
Documentaries and TV programs still revisit the case, analyzing the evidence, going over statements, and uncovering secrets surrounding the family members. The persisting mystery of her death will seemingly always captivate the nation. Despite many ongoing theories and suspects, the case remains unsolved to this day.
I believe there is some evidence to suggest strongly that he may have come in through a basement window.
The Centennial Olympic Park tragedy. In 1996, Atlanta, Georgia hosted the Summer Olympics. Security guard Richard Jewell discovered what appeared to be a pipe bomb under a bench in the park.
Did you watch this? Mm-mm. I watched this too. I be watching stuff. Where you be at?
He immediately called the police and helped lead people to safety before the blast. The bombing resulted in 1 death and 100 injuries.
He was hailed a hero.
And I just hope that we catch the people that did it.
Jewell was labeled a hero, but then quickly became the FBI's main suspect. For almost 3 months, the FBI investigation and the media attention ruined his life.
Some of the coverage, while acknowledging that Jewell was only under investigation, still cast him in the worst possible light.
His name was eventually cleared, but the real bomber, Eric Rudolph, wasn't caught until 2013. Jewell was the subject of a Clint Eastwood film, as well as season 2 of Discovery Channel's anthology series, Manhunt.
Until the day I die, there will be people who believe that I'm a murderer.
The murders of Tupac and Biggie Smalls. In the late 90s, 2 of hip-hop's most influential artists were killed within 6 months of each other.
Backseat of the Cadillac, unrolled the window, arm came out, opened fire, and just went rat-a-tat-tat. There were 13 shots fired.
On September 7th, 1996, Tupac Shakur was gunned down, dying 6 days later. Then, on March 9th, 1997, Biggie Smalls, also known as the Notorious B.I.G., a suspect in Tupac's murder, was shot and killed.
911 emergency, what are you reporting? We're on Fairfax and Wilshire. What's wrong? We're man shot in our car right now.
The two started off as friends, but quickly became enemies in the East Coast-West Coast War. Suspects range from former Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight.
And that didn't even make sense to her, because Tupac, even though the West Coast loved to hold him like, oh, Tupac 1 hour, Tupac actually from the East Coast. And so that, like, that whole thing don't, like, born and raised East Coast. Like, I think his mom did have some ties to Oakland due to the Black Panther Party and stuff, but for the most part, he was an East Coast kid. You know what I'm saying? And, like, that whole, like, but, you know what? They haven't talked about Keefy D ever since Puffy got locked up. You know, Keefy D was going up with the notion that Diddy had some involvement as far as paying. And he had a hit out. But that doesn't mean that they acted upon it that night. Yeah. But they knew about the hit, so technically it's still a conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? You still got a hit out on somebody. I don't think that was the motive or the reason why they did what they did. Yeah. But they were seeking a reward for doing what they did. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the blurred line as far as what's legally right kind of bothers me. And I'm like, because even though y'all knew that there was a reward for the hit out, but that wasn't y'all motive. So do I still get convicted for, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
To corrupt officers in the LAPD, new theories still arise today from lifelong fans hoping to solve the murders of 2 young rappers at the height of their careers.
You know, you don't know who's with who, how it's going to go down.
The World Trade Center bombing. 8 years before the September 11th attacks, the World Trade Center was hit with a bomb. On the afternoon of February 26, 1993, a bomb went off inside a rental van, killing 6 people and injuring over 1,000. The van was located in the underground parking garage.
At 12:18 p.m., World Trade Center Tower number 1 became a...
You know this?
I think I did.
You think you did?
It's so much stuff
That's
in
not
his
confidence enough for
because
me,
it's
man.
so much in his head of mine, and some of it I remember, some of it I don't know was real.
So I be remembering a lot, you be remembering a little.
Some of it I don't know was real, because you know I be making up stories in my head.
But I don't remember hearing about this.
Yes,
so why y'all didn't take better
do.
precautions with...
The World Trade Center.
It makes you start cyanide some stuff. I'm like, y'all already had a bomb at once.
Yeah, I could.
Tower of smoke.
Shockingly, one of the men who planted the bomb actually went to the rental agency to get his security deposit back. Not so shockingly, he was brought in by the FBI. Mohammed Salama and his 3 accomplices were arrested and later convicted.
Yesterday, federal agents raided Salama's apartment, where they found the evidence that led to his arrest.
The granite memorial fountain built to honor the victims was destroyed in 2001, but the names of the victims are included in the North Pool of the 9/11 memorial.
93 bombing was the powder keg. It was the start of America being vulnerable.
The murder of Selena Quintanilla Perez. Selena Quintanilla Perez was just 23 years old when she was killed by her fan club president and friend Yolanda Saldívar on March 31st, 1995.
Selena has been shot dead at a Corpus Christi motel.
Yolanda was caught embezzling the singer's money. and Selena confronted her at a motel to collect tax papers. Rather than face the consequences of her crimes, Yolanda fatally shot her supposedly best friend.
It's not like we thought that this person was possible of the act that she committed.
Given Selena's bright and bubbly presence that touched so many, her sudden death is still a shocking reality. It's impossible to listen to Dreaming of You and not cry thinking of the heartbreaking ending of the 1997 film. Love for the iconic singer was revitalized with Netflix's Selena the series. The Crimes of Jeffrey Dahmer. He's sometimes called the Milwaukee Cannibal or the Milwaukee Monster, but everyone knows the name Dahmer. From 1978 to 1991, he killed 17 young men, doing unspeakable things to their remains.
Jeffrey Dahmer was responsible for killing more than a dozen people.
The killer was finally caught on July 22, 1991, after an intended victim escaped and flagged down police. A lot of media attention has focused on his upbringing, attempting to explain why anyone would commit such horrific crimes.
Milwaukee newspaper is reporting the man has confessed to killing at least 11 people.
What makes him enduringly fascinating is just how normal he looked. Ryan Murphy's Netflix original series starring Evan Peters is based on Dahmer's life, but told through the eyes of his victims. The Waco Siege.
That's the plot twist of that one, because it's told through the lenses of the victims and not the... But you think people can be born with that, like that evilness within them, and eventually it comes out? Because they always try to see, why did this person become this way? Why did this person turn out to be this way? What is his upbringing? What is his... I think sometimes it's not even about that. It's just they have these urges that was born within them, and eventually, because their brain is kind of wired.
I do wonder, like, is that the case with everyone, or some people that commit crimes like this? Because we've heard cases where, like kids, like at an early age, were showing signs of.
Why I say show ages?
Was showing signs of different things that are, now have names for them, and either if it was acting out or harming animal, like just like little things here and there, like just at a young age, and it's like how do you even. Like, what makes you do things like this, or what makes you even think like this to do something like so, in a sense, possibly, like some type of cross wiring is a little, like it's something, like I don't know, but that is a good question. I really never thought about it.
Never thought about it like that, yeah. Yo, not shout out, but I did watch the Waco joint too. I watched every episode of that one though.
I watched that too.
Did you watch every episode?
We watched it together.
I don't think we watched it together.
Yes, we did.
Beginning February 28th, 1993, the FBI led a siege against David Koresh, leader of the Branch Davidians, and his cult followers. Suspecting that the group was stockpiling illegal weapons, ATF agents had arrived at Mount Carmel Center outside Waco, Texas, to serve a warrant. Instead, a deadly gunfight ensued, resulting in the deaths of 4 agents and 6 Branch Davidians.
Even when the agents all left, we felt that they would be back that night and kill us.
The siege continued for 51 days, finally ending April 19th, when the FBI flooded the building with tear gas, attempting to force everyone out.
This is not an assault. We are not entering the building.
A fire consumed the building, and by the end, 76 Branch Davidians were dead. Official reports alleged that cult members lit the fires, while surviving cult members blamed the FBI.
Huge numbers of Americans watched.
Do you think anybody ignited the fire? I think it was an accident. Because with the way they impact tear gas, I don't know. I have never looked into whether or not tear gas is flammable. But say, for instance, you let the tear gas off. Hey, look it up real quick. Is tear gas flammable? I never, thought about it. You know what I'm saying? Here you go. Slow typing. She types so slow.
Just calm down. I was trying to...
So it says, while not readily flammable on its own, tear gas, particularly the common type known as CS gas can be considered combustible under certain conditions. So it could have been an accident.
Meaning it can burn if exposed to a high amount of heat.
That could have had something going on, some fire going on, and the tear gas could have initiated. You get what I'm saying? And with the whole, when y'all let that much tear gas in there, once the fire started, it wasn't going to stop because it's so much tear gas. Because y'all tried to, like, fill the whole building up with tear gas.
True.
So I don't think it was on purpose on either side. I think it's an accident that once it started, there was no stopping.
This play out on their television sets, and the ending was incredibly horrifying.
The Oklahoma City attack. 2 years to the day after the Waco Siege, a bomb went off under the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City.
A massive car bomb exploded outside of a large federal building in downtown Oklahoma City, shattering that building.
The bombing killed at least 168 people, including 19 children, wounding over 680 others. The 9-story building contained offices of 14 federal agencies. Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols, 2 soldiers turned anti-government extremists, targeted this location because it housed the DEA and ATF, 2 of the 3 agencies they sought to attack. McVeigh was sentenced to death for this act of domestic terrorism, one of the worst in U.S. history.
It was an act of cowardice, and it was evil.
The Columbine High School massacre. When you say Columbine, everyone knows what you're referring to. Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado became front-page news on April 20th, 1999, after 2 heavily armed students killed 13 and wounded over 20 others before taking their own lives.
Just Sheriff's Office, do you have an emergency? Yes, I am a teacher at Columbine High School. There is a student here with a gun.
This wasn't the first school shooting in the U.S. There had been a string of others around the country, but at the time, it was the deadliest in U.S. history. This infamous attack forever changed how security and safety protocols are handled in schools. Victims of the shooting suffer lasting trauma, some continuing to speak about their...
I think he came to our school. Have they ever came to y'all? Like, we was in school. Is he the one of the... Is his sister the one... I think his sister is the one that died today. She was outside. She was one of the first people they killed because they killed her on their way in. She was known as, I said she used to pray a lot and all that. So and she was just one of the first ones they killed when coming into the, but he came, I think it was him and his father, if I'm not mistaken, came and spoke to us when we was in high school. And that's when I was like, first start hearing way more details about
it. Yeah.
Experience in the hopes of preventing more tragedies.
It's good that school shootings are still shocking because it shows that they're really rare.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and...
But yeah, Columbine's the thing that, like, even to this day, I feel like it still has its impact.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because also there's other people who want to carry out those same crimes based off of what they found out about them. And that's one of the scariest things. And I'm like, all right, I know we shed light on these people for like informational purposes and to further educate ourselves of certain signs. But I'm like, also in that regards, we can be negatively shining light on them for other people to look to inspire to be like them. Because the more you bring awareness to the person who does the action, the more you allow somebody who's already have that boiling in their mind to look into them and be like, okay, I want to be like them. I want to look into what they did. I want to act upon, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a double-edged sword to me when speaking and bringing certain things to light, especially like say for instance like a Dahmer. You give so much details about who he is and how he committed these crimes. There might be somebody out here studying instead of like really like looking into it like, oh, this is they get, oh man, this is great.
Yeah.
Like they start feeding off of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I'm like, because you rarely hear about the victims. They rarely tell you the stories of the victims. They rarely tell you the backstory. So the victims, their names typically eventually die off. But
sadly, yeah.
Yeah, but the criminals continue to live through all the stories and the glamorization we do, but not trying to do, but like end up doing. We're glamorizing them by continuing telling these stories.
Yeah.
On notifications. The murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman. On June 13th, 1994, the bodies of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman were found in front of her Brentwood home, having been stabbed to death the night before.
She was absolutely terrified for her life.
Nicole's ex-husband, former football star O.J. Simpson, became the #1 suspect. The trial, dubbed the Trial of the Century, began 7 months after the murders on January 24th, 1995, and would last 134 days, with the shocking verdict being announced on October 3rd.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187.
You see how Rob Kardashian looked? I know Johnny Cochran was happy because, you know what I'm saying, that's his...
Yeah.
Like, this case really solidified him as, like, one of the top. Him, this case and his Michael Jackson case, like, yo, the best lawyer out there, Johnny Cochran. Rob looked like he kind of was disappointed, though. Did you see him?
I didn't see him, no.
Right here, pay attention.
Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187.
In the media...
Or he was in shock.
It was like he rolled his eyes like...
I think it was like more in shock, probably. Because they probably...
I don't know.
Like, when it comes to, like, facial expressions and stuff, I have to know a person to know, like, how to take it. I don't know him. So I do wonder, like, if it's, like we really just beat this case.
Or I can't believe this motherfucker got away. Even though that's your friend. And
or,
you know your friend,
or still, I can't believe.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, you know, I don't know. But
he rolled them out hard as hell, though.
Oh, it was like a sigh of relief. Like, I don't know what it was, but I just wonder, like, at that time, like in real time, like hearing it on the radio or whatever, like how it made like certain people feel, like hearing that he was not guilty, like in that moment.
True.
And forgotten that it isn't all about Simpson. The families of Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman lost their loved ones. The infamous Bronco chase, trying on the gloves, the theatrics in and out of court, all distract from the reality of the case. 2 people were brutally killed.
A mostly white jury found Simpson liable, ordering him to pay $33.5 million to the families of the murder victims in 1997.
Crazy, and come back and still lose in a civil case.
But for him, still, that was a win. Like, I know a lot of people, but he was out of money. But
no, that's what led him to go to prison when he did.
Oh, okay,
because he was like hit so hard financially. And
but you know something, at the end of the day, it's still because you still got out and lived your life until you know passed or whatever the case may be. But like they lost their life, you know what I'm saying? Family lost loved ones, and it was just like,
you know what? Even if he did do it, like thinking about it now, and again, to each his own. You feel as though he did. We wasn't there. We don't have the correct evidence to say for a fact he did do it. Because if we had the correct evidence for a fact to say he did do it, he would have been ruled guilty. But to here nor there with that, I feel like because of who he is and how arrogant and cocky he is, I don't think he would have even like 100% openly admitted that he did it. Even if he did do it, because a lot of people was like, I wonder if he's gonna tell on his deathbed. I don't think he would have still like, even though he didn't supposedly. Because I still felt up to his death, he was still so arrogant. Like he always came off as an arrogant person, and it's just,
yeah, these are crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
there's some other moments I'm sure that we're not even thinking about.
It's several other, but you kind of gotta like.
Yeah, I know, because it was a couple of them that ran through my mind. I was like, I wonder if they're gonna, but they didn't speak on it, but. Hey, y'all spam us up. If y'all know any others, let us know in the comment section down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ No Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are.
Kid and C.
We are.
Time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my folks. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar, 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 dollar.